Have you heard the story of the farmer and the frogs? I'm guessing you haven't, but it's a story you must hear. Hello and welcome to another edition of Chai with Pai, our series of weekly videos where I try and share simple lessons and stories which can help each of us become just a little bit better. The story goes that a farmer went up to a restaurant one day and asked the restaurant owner if he'd like to buy 1,000,000 frogs. The restaurant owner looked at him with disbelief and he said, "Where will you find so many frogs?" And the farmer then explained that near his house was a pond where there were 1,000,000 frogs which would croak all night. They wouldn't let him sleep. They were driving him nuts, and he decided to do something about it. And so he said he could offer those 1,000,000 frogs to the restaurant owner. The restaurant owner smiled and said, "Actually, I don't need so many, but maybe I could take 500 frogs every week." So a deal was struck, and it was agreed that the farmer would deliver 500 frogs to the restaurant owner every Sunday morning. The first Sunday arrived, and the farmer landed up at the restaurant and opened his can, which had 2 frogs. He looked at the restaurant owner who said, "Oh, 2 frogs? Where are the other 498? The farmer looked at the restaurant owner a bit sheepishly and he said, "Actually, there were only 2 frogs. That's all I could find. But I can swear there were like 1,000,000 frogs. I could hear them and they wouldn't let me sleep. But actually there were just 2 frogs." Interesting. A version of this frog and farmer story I think plays out in our lives, in all our lives. There are times when we have problems and we start thinking that it is such a big problem. In our heads, it's 1,000,000 frogs croaking. The reality, it's 2 frogs croaking. So the next time you're struggling with something, you've got a problem that's bothering you, do a reality check and you'll be quick to discover that it's not 1,000,000 frogs, it's actually just 2. Problems are usually much smaller than they seem to appear in our heads. And I think this can happen a lot in organizations too. Sometimes someone makes a mistake and a supervisor or a boss is quick to admonish, "You're always doing it." 2 frogs, 1,000,000 frog once again. It can often happen that you make a mistake and someone says, "You're always doing it." Or someone says, "This is terrible. I've told you 1,000,000 times. Why aren't you doing it?" Yeah, they've told you once, maybe twice, but in their heads, it appears like they've told you 1,000,000 times. Good idea to remind them of the frog story. And hey, it's appraisal season. And if you find yourself at the receiving end of some reasonably harsh feedback and someone tells you, you're not getting it right and you're doing a terrible job, don't worry. They think it's 1,000,000 frogs. It's actually just 2. Think of the frog, and I hope it'll bring a smile on your face and a reminder that problems are truly smaller than they might appear. That's all in this week's edition of Chai with Pai. Until next time, enjoy your chai, and very soon, enjoy the croaking of the frogs too.